Now it's time for On Point, where we speak to experts to delve deeper into the biggest news stories in the spotlight right now. South Korea's current account surplus was $88.3 billion in 2021. That's significant, as it was the country's largest surplus recorded in 5 years and came despite South Korea, like the rest of the world, being in the grips of a global pandemic.
However, despite it amounting to a 5-year high, the 2021 surplus was actually some $4 billion less than the amount earlier forecast by the Bank of Korea. For more on this, we connect to Song Soo-young, professor of economics at Chung-Ang University. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning.
So, Professor, firstly, can you walk us through what factors helped South Korea's annual current account surplus hit a 5-year high last year?
Yeah, according to the report, that the current account surplus has amounted to $88.3 billion for South Korea for the year of 2021. When we look into the composition of the current account surplus is consisted with some net export and the net income and some net current transfer from the foreign countries. So this current account has shown that the robustness of South Korean economy, and then even though this is some highest current account surplus for the past 5 years, but it is totally influenced by some international situation and economic situation, and particularly about the import price and export price. So we are going to see what is this. At least this may indicate some resilience of South Korea's economy and some robustness of the current economic situation of South Korea.
And Professor, just how important is it that a country has a healthy current account surplus? What positive effects does that have on an economy?
Yeah, particularly because this current account surplus is the major part of current account is by the net export. So it means that a certain country's economy has produced and sold them their products and services to the foreign country, and then how much earning they could have for the fiscal year. Particularly in the pent-up demand in the United States, that has helped South Korean economy, the export to increase very much. And this would indicate as long as the country has maintained some current account surplus, it means that the net foreign assets, so net foreign assets is like some US dollar or euro, yuan, yen, or US bond, or foreign countries' bond and securities. Actually, that has been increased. So that is, at least we could purchase imports other foreign countries' products and services as much as possible. That could be utilized to help improve the economic situation in South Korea. That is the positive effects.
Mm-hmm. Now, Professor, it's commonly known as that China spends much of its current account surplus accumulating foreign assets like U.S. bonds and invest in Africa. Then we must ask, how about South Korea? How does South Korea use its surplus?
As for the Chinese government has utilized their some One Belt, One Road initiative to help Southeast Asians and some African countries. Usually they actually provide real products to those countries, and then they make use of their foreign assets, such as US dollars, to purchase the necessary facilities and some important raw materials to help and build up the bridge, road, and railroad for the foreign countries. But actually, this is not necessarily always a positive aspect because according to Bernanke, who is the former U.S. Federal Reserve chair, has pointed out saving glut would be one of the major cause of 2008 outbreak of the 2008 Great Recession. Because too much saving, it means that they have not purchased the foreign countries' imports as much as maybe similar as the equivalent as their export. So not necessarily this too much. So recently we have seen that this China and particularly South Korea government has purchased the oils not from Middle Eastern countries such as Saudi Arabia or Dubai oils. Rather, we have South Korean government has purchased the Western Texas Intermediate, the oils from the United States to make up. We have too much surplus during the trade, within the trade between U.S. and Korea.
Okay, finally, we are unfortunately running out of time, but South Korea has historically had pretty healthy current account surplus. However, under what kind of circumstances would a national economy's surplus start to dry up, and what kind of impact would that have?
Recently, I have heard that the Korean currency, Korean won, could be a candidate for the sixth currency for the special drawing rights in IMF. Even though the current account surplus could be a signal and indicator for the future purchase power, but still the balance of the current account is also necessary. Otherwise, we could be retaliated because foreign countries are very do not like too much loss in the trading. So, and also once the currency becomes a major international settlement currency, and then the current account deficit is necessary to almost result in. So we don't have to be too much fear about some dry up of the current account deficit at all, as long as our economy could be robust, and then as long as we maintain some manufacturing capacity within the domestic economy. So that is not much the problem.
Right, that's good to hear. Well, thank you so much, Professor, for your insights. We'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.